Thank you for choosing Pembrokeshire Caravan Hire. Allow me to show you round our 6-berth Sprite Major 6 Caravan. Coming inside the caravan, just directly above the habitation door as you come in, you'll find that there are two control panels. If we start with the one on the right, the main control panel, if I press the power button once in the middle, you can see various things illuminate. On here you can see the power is now on. That means that your 12-volt system within the caravan is operational. The one with the lightning bolt here shows that you've actually connected to the 240-volt supply. If that's illuminated, you're connected. If it isn't illuminated, you know that you're not connected. The one on the left shows how much the leisure battery is holding, and if you ever want to double check that, press the view levels and it will come on for a few seconds so you can see that she's fully charged. You would expect that, of course, because it's automatically charging once she's connected to the 240 volt. The water pump here will need to be pressed on to bring the water into the caravan via the pump. I turned it off there because it's not connected to the water at the moment, but that will then automatically fill up your system and then it will automatically turn off. Press the power button once again, everything will go out. These lights, once you've pressed them, they will automatically go out after a few seconds, just so you're not having to look at them all the time. So that will go out, but it will still remain on, even though the lights won't necessarily be illuminated. Moving across to the left-hand panel, the Truma panel, it's showing the time at 10:27 at the moment. If I press the middle button here, you'll see various symbols illuminate, and flashing on the left-hand side is a motorhome or caravan with a temperature gauge just inside. If I press that once again, it says off. This is your heating system. And if I rotate the middle button up here, I can set it to say 21 degrees, press that again, and that will automatically then get the temperature to work up to 21 degrees, and it will hold it there. If it's working on electric or gas, it doesn't matter, that will then hold it. You can see up here that it's actually trying to get up there, showing that it's 21 degrees. This will flash until it achieves that 21 degrees, and then it will just remain constant. If I press again, if I move across here to the second one, that is your hot water system. If I press that, at the moment it says off. If I move it round once to the right, it says eco. The next one is hot. The next one is boost. If you set it to hot and press that button, that will then get you to good hot water. So it's perfect for a shower or washing up, whatever you need to do. That will get it up to a temperature of about 60 degrees normally, and that will then keep hot water constantly in your hot water tank. You can see it flashing backwards and forwards at the moment on 21 degrees, the time, and you see both of these symbols at the top flashing. Both will remain flashing until they get up to that full temperature. The next one, if I move across here, I'm going to move across to, this is the supply for power. At the moment it says it's on gas. If I move that round, I'm going to put it onto electric 1. Electric and 1 kilowatt, that will be pulling 1 kilowatt, and your heating system and your hot water is now working off the electric, the 240 volt system. If you've got an electric supply, everything works better off it. If not, you can still use it back on the gas if you're off grid, but really the ideal thing will always be to have it on electric 1 and set it there. That will now show, you see it changed up here, you'll see that that is now working off the electric. The final one I'm going to go across to is this one, which is a fan on the right hand side. Eco or high. Eco means the pump will be working the hot air around the system at quite a low rate, but it will still get up to temperature. If you move it to high, the fan will work harder. It will be a little bit noisier, but it will tend to heat up that much quicker. If I press again, I can now move back across to here. I'm going to turn the heating completely to the off position and set that. I'm going to move here to the hot water. I'm going to turn that back off, press that again. So now we've got the heating is off, the hot water is off. It's still set on electric, and I can turn that back here And you can see we're back to the type. I'm now sat in the front lounge area of the Sprite Major 6 Caravan. As you can see, we have a table which can be extended out for use. Above we have two 240-volt sockets, and a place for the TV aerial, and a 12-volt socket as well. All of the windows in the Caravan have not only a fly screen but also a blackout blind, so you're not woken up first thing in the morning when the sun comes up. You have additional drawers just here. You have storage space beneath the seating area and plenty of storage up above, which will contain various items from a radio and CD player in here to the first aid kit and various other things. The sleeping arrangements down here can be made very simply by removing the backrest, and by doing so you've now got one single bed over this side. Do the same the other, you've got a single bed over that side. Also, if you wish to, you can create a double bed very simply just by pulling out the slats, pull them straight forwards, make sure you go over the lug just there, and then what we recommend is you turn over the seat itself, and then slot in the backrest from both sides, which will then become much flatter. You've then got a 7-foot long, 5-foot wide double bed, and where we've turned these seat over, you don't end up with this ridge in your back, you end up with it nice and flat, so it's more comfortable for sleeping. I'm now sat in the front lounge area of the Sprite Major 6 Caravan. As you can see, we have a table which can be extended out for use. Above we have two 240-volt sockets, and a place for the TV aerial, and a 12-volt socket as well. All of the windows in the Caravan have not only a fly screen but also a blackout blind, so you're not woken up first thing in the morning when the sun comes up. You have additional drawers just here. You have storage space beneath the seating area and plenty of storage up above, which will contain various items from a radio and CD player in here to the first aid kit and various other things. The sleeping arrangements down here can be made very simply by removing the backrest, and by doing so you've now got one single bed over this side. Do the same the other, you've got a single bed over that side. Also, if you wish to, you can create a double bed very simply just by pulling out the slats, pull them straight forwards, make sure you go over the lug just there, and then what we recommend is you turn over the seat itself, and then slot in the backrest from both sides, which will then become much flatter. You've then got a 7-foot long, 5-foot wide double bed, and where we've turned these seat over, you don't end up with this ridge in your back, you end up with it nice and flat, so it's more comfortable for sleeping. Between the lounge area and the dinette area, you've got this wardrobe arrangement where you've got a cupboard down below, a shelf, and good hanging space within the wardrobe. Also within the wardrobe you can see here the TV aerial. For travelling we always make sure the aerial is fully secured down and it's nice and tight, and you can see where it's pointed, that is actually the back of the aerial and it's pointed that way at the moment. When you get to site you need to raise the aerial and point it round to try to pick up the best signal that you can. My best tip would be to look where everybody else is pointed their aerial, because they would have probably already found the signal. Point it in the same direction and you're likely to get the best signal that there is, and then secure it. When you come down to go and travel again, loosen it off, put it back down, get it to face the front of the Caravan and re-secure it. Once you've got the aerial up, you'll need to just simply go through on the television, go to the menu, go to the auto scan, and then run it through. That way you're going to pick up the best signal that's available in that particular area. I've now moved into the dinette area. whereas you can see at the moment it's set up as seating around the table. And your storage up above, 3 more cupboards up there, and individual lighting. This can also be transferred into a single bed or into bunk beds. The bunk bed above swings up from behind, but please do refer to the separate video on how to set up the bunk bed if you're going to do that. To make this into a single bed, nice simple operation. Pull the leg out, lift the table off, press the button, lower the leg down, and then slide this underneath into the runners. Beneath there. Pulling the backrest from that side, backrest from that side. And within a few moments, you have a nice wide single bed. There's no need to turn these particular seat covers over because they don't have any ridges in them. And the final part, you have a curtain which will come right the way round the bed for a little privacy. There's some good work surface in the kitchen area, but add that to the directly opposite, there's plenty of extra space for food preparation. Up above we have 2 large cupboards, which contains kettles, cafetières, the melamine tableware, the glasses, mugs. We have a microwave in the middle. In here we have the cutlery and kitchen utensils. Down below the cleaning equipment, the draining board, bin bags, cling film, kitchen foil. Down below here, pots and pans for creating colouring masterpieces. And we always include washing up equipment just up here. The Thetford fridge freezer is turned on by pressing the power button there once. You see things illuminate. She's set at the moment onto working off the 240 volt electric and set at temperature number 4. If I press the grey button here and hold for a second, I'm now able to change the power source. That's electric. That will be off your leisure battery if you're travelling. That will be off the gas. We'll move it back so it's back onto the electric supply. And if you've got a 240 volt electric supply, always use that. Moving across here, you can see it's temperature number 4. You can turn the temperature to make it a bit warmer. You can move the temperature up to number 5, but we typically find that number 4 is sufficient. Otherwise, number 5 will sometimes actually freeze inside the fridge itself. Open the door, you can see plenty of room. Freezer compartment at the top. I'll briefly explain the oven, grill and gas hob. To get to the gas hob, make sure you lift the lid, push it right the way back. It has to be right the way back to allow the gas supply to come through. If it is allowed to move forwards, the gas supply will shut off. Works just the same as a normal gas hob. Turn in, hold for a second, ignite, hold for a couple of seconds longer, and you've got 3 rings at the top. Make sure that you don't pull the glass lid back down again immediately after use because the heat may well shatter the glass. The grill has a grill pan inside. Make sure that you grill with the door open. The oven at the bottom has oven trays down in there too. Again, works off the igniter on the gas. Always make sure that you've got ventilation. We tend to recommend opening the window or using the extractor in this particular caravan. Make sure there's plenty of fresh air coming round, and if to stop any of the bugs coming in, make sure that you use the fly screen. At the rear of the caravan, we have an additional wardrobe space with a mirror on the front. Inside you can see plenty of additional hanging space. We have a table over here, which we typically use in the awning, but can be used in the front lounge if you wish. A vacuum cleaner, hairdryer, 2 shelves to the right, storage down below. 2 fixed bunk beds with a built-in ladder. They have individual lights, privacy curtains, and they have their own window in each with a blackout blind. If you look underneath the storage area below the bottom bunk, we keep 6 camping chairs ready for use out in the awning. In the washroom area, we find the Thetford toilet, which has a swivel top, so it can be used for keeping out the way or for a comfortable seating position. I can lift the lid, I lift the toilet seat. At the bottom of the toilet is where there is a toilet flap, which is the very top of the toilet cassette down below. To open the flap to let everything out from the toilet, I need to move this grey handle across on the side of the toilet, move it across gently. The flap opens, everything can then fall down. To close it, I simply reverse that procedure. Make sure you don't pull this too hard across, because it's on a plastic cog system, and if you pull it too hard, it can jump out. I've seen that happen where the flap won't then work any longer. So pull it across to let everything out. You can have number ones, number twos, toilet paper go down inside the toilet cassette, but please no sanitary products or wipes, as the Elton point or chemical waste point of the campsites aren't designed to cope with that. To help everything down to get into the toilet cassette, we have up here a flush mechanism. So I press the button and water accompanied with a pink solution, which is a deodorizer, will come in. It's empty at the moment. It will come in, it will then, when you open up the flap, it will encourage everything down into the toilet cassette below, and when you shut the flap once again, it becomes airtight, so you should get no back smell. Moving around the room, we come to the basin, storage area below, and between the toilet and the basin on the side of the cabinet here, that's where the light switches are. There is an additional switch on the side of the light in the shower, so if you find that you turn the lights on down there and it's not working, you may find that someone's turned that back off. It has a fully thermostatic shower, so set the temperature once, it'll stay at that temperature for you. It has a proper shower screen, but we also encourage you to always either have the window slightly open or the roof light slightly open to let any of the steam out from the shower. Hopefully that's given you plenty of information for you to be able to enjoy your break in our Swift Major 6 Caravan. In addition to this video, there are a number of other instructional videos on our website. In the Caravan we always include operating instructions, troubleshooting guide and a local information pack. But if you still have any queries, then please don't forget that we're open between 8 and 6 every day, so give us a call and we'll try and help you through with any queries that you may have. We do hope you enjoy your break.